coming full-fledged with a helmet on my head with a shield and some sharp legs.
If you want to escape your life and hop into mine for 15 minutes, this is Tea Time with Trin. I'm your host, Trinity Tamara Jones, and this episode is Mr. and Mrs. Brinson. I'm ready to tell y'all this story. Let's just get into it. So, October 23rd, 2019, I received this message from this man, and he goes, "Hi, my name is Jerry. You look like someone I need to get to know." Now, a little context. At the time, I had completely given up on guys. I was done. I was going through my own heartbreak from earlier that year. And I had spent that year kind of just healing and growing. And yeah, that was 2019. So that was my dig into Christianity year and getting closer to God year. And I got baptized, that year. So things were really changing. I was in transition. 2019 was a beautiful year. Had amazing times. Had a Disney pass. Earlier that year, I had quit my job at Chipotle and I started working at H&R Block during tax season. And I was living in Long Beach, in my apartment with my best friend. And I was working at H&R Block. And there was someone there, one of my coworkers, who gave me aquarium tickets. Now, I wasn't born in Long Beach, but I'm from there. I grew up there. And, the aquarium is, everyone's aware of it. Everyone's been, if you're from the LB, you've been to the aquarium a few times, at least. So I got these aquarium tickets and I'm just like, okay, cool. They expire December 31st, 2019. Literally, I was like, I'm not going to use these. Like, I'm from here. I'm not a tourist. I don't have kids. Like, there's no reason for me to go to the aquarium. So I accepted them. Well, it was just one ticket, actually. I accepted this ticket, put it in my wallet, and in the back of my mind, I was like, this ticket's going to be in my wallet. It's going to be in my wallet all year. But, thank you. Appreciate it. I go on. I forget about it. Move on with my life. Fast forward. October 23rd, I'm watching The Matrix. For those of you who don't know, my name is Trinity because of Trinity in The Matrix. The movie came out in 99. I was born in 99. Love it, right? I was watching The Matrix, and it was my first time watching it in a long time. So I post on my story, what did I say verbatim? I said something about I think I was saying something about me being Trinity for Halloween or something like that. And I was like, but who's going to be my Neo or whatever. He had DM'd me that day and he saw that story and he was like, me, not even knowing who Neo is, because he hadn't seen The Matrix prior to that. He was just being cute. The interesting part about it was that when he followed my Instagram, I didn't see any mutuals. So I was kind of confused. How did you find me? We don't follow anyone, there's no mutual following. So I was skeptical. I saw his account and he looked like a catfish. I was like, okay, this, I'll entertain it because I'm bored, but I'm not taking this serious. So, we're talking. I just remember, he tries to FaceTime me that day. We exchange, numbers and he FaceTimes me and he's at work and I'm pretty sure he's FaceTiming me to make sure I'm not a catfish, and I appreciate it because I want to make sure he's not a catfish. So yeah, I didn't take it serious. And even with that, even knowing that, okay, you're not a catfish, I still wasn't taking him serious just because I was already in a state of I'm done. I'm kicking back, I'm chilling, I'm cool. Now, prior to October, it was months and months ago, I had prayed that the next person I do, take serious, I pray that you send someone for me to love. Because I was, digging into Christ, digging into Christianity. I knew that love was the commandment. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to love. I wanted to make God happy. That was where it started. God embraced me at a time where I didn't deserve it. And I know that he loves me. So I want him to know that I love him. So I prayed to God to send me somebody I can love. And in a romantic way, I was very specific about that. And so, I didn't think much of it. That was months prior to meeting Jerry or, him messaging me. So I wasn't taking him serious. I was considering it to be just another situationship. It was going to last for like a month or two, and then boom, strangers, like moving on. So we're talking, we're on FaceTime, and we're vibing, like clicking instantly. It was crazy, the connection there. And so he asked me out. He was like, I want to take you out on a date. I was like, okay. This is now, our date is October 26th, our first date. So that was three-ish days after him messaging me. He goes, so he was like, I want to take you out. I was like, okay, you know, what do you want to do? He goes, let's go to the aquarium. I was like, what? All of my years living in Long Beach, my teenage years, no one has ever asked me to the aquarium or took me to the aquarium. The aquarium wasn't a date thing. Like, it was movies, shopping, you know, beach, shoot, even like the paddle boats, you know, water stuff. Like, I don't know. I was taken back when he asked me to the aquarium. I was just like expecting something else. Round one, like anything else but that. And it was so crazy when he said that. I immediately thought about the ticket I already had in my wallet. So I told him, I said, that's crazy that that's your first thing, you know, that the aquarium was the first thing that came out of his mouth. I was like, I have a ticket already. So it kind of, you know, works out perfectly. You know, he just gets a ticket and, you know, we go. So we do. And that was our first time meeting, you know, up in person. And it was just like a connection. It was crazy how intense and quick we just vibed. And, you know, we had a great date. It was an amazing first date. And yeah, things just went from there. We stayed together always after that. After our first meeting, it was like, okay, well, this is it. We're a thing. So he goes to work. I go to work. At the time, I'm working at a school. I just had quit my second job. I had 2 jobs at the time, quit one of them, and I was working at an after school program. And, you know, he was working at a restaurant, and at the end of the night, we was always coming to each other. Now, at first, because I had my own spot, he was coming home to me. We were at my apartment every night. You know, he would come from Inglewood because that's where he was working, and he was living in Norwalk. So it was a lot of commuting, but like, it was worth it. We just wanted to be together. Within, you know, our talking stage, the 2 little weeks we were talking, you know, I let him know I'm still healing and I'm still, you know, dealing with a little bit of trauma from previous things, and I'm just not ready to get into anything serious. And I really wasn't, but I was catching feelings for Jerry quickly. And I did let him know that, and he did not stop. He did not care. Not that he didn't care, but he was like, no. Because I was trying to slow it down. I was trying to stop talking, actually. I was like, you know, this is getting a little bit more serious than I thought. I genuinely didn't think it was going to go this far. So I'm trying to fall back. I'm trying to give space. And he's like, no. Not happening. This is what it's supposed to be. Like, you have feelings. Great. I have feelings. So, like, stop being afraid and come on. And so he was like, you know, I'll wait. I won't ask you, because he was ready at that time. He was like, you let me know when you're ready. And I was like, okay, I respected that. You know, I respected him, his compromise. He was like, I'm not letting you go, but I understand where you're coming from. So I'll give you, you know, some time to decide or some time to get ready. And it didn't take long after that, really. It was just green flags back to back to back. And as far as he and I go together, it was November 4th, 2019. And I remember being in my home. He was off. And I remember we were just cuddling, like watching a movie or something. And I was like, I'm ready. And he knew exactly what I was talking about. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I accepted. And yeah, we just stayed together every single night. We slept together. It was all PG-13. It was fun. I loved it. I loved the respect and the gentleness that he brought. And he was just kind. And yeah, like, I can tell that the agenda was more than to get in my pants. Like, he really, really wanted to get to know me. Like, he meant that. It was amazing hearing after that he wasn't even in relationships. Like, he wasn't doing that. So yeah, we're working still. At this time, it's 2019's ending. I meet his mom November. It's like really quick. Like, I meet his mom weeks after we got together. And I'm now, like, after meeting her, I'm now spending time in Norwalk. So I'm getting off of work, getting on the metro, and, going to Norwalk, and I'm making the commute. He did enough trains and buses to get to me. So I was like, I like to meet halfway. I don't want my man to just do everything, pouring into me, doing the most, and then I'm not giving him squat diddly. So no, I was commuting. I was, going to Norwalk, and I was welcomed with open arms, and I loved getting to know his family and his mom specifically. I was building, a bond there, and it was good. It was good vibes. And then, COVID happened, and December was when I started to hear about COVID. We were hearing stories and cases were rising. And I remember going to my job, which was at the school. It was a middle school, and I was kind of informing the kids, like, you wash your hands, just listen to what the authoritative figures are telling you, because it's getting a little serious. And during that time, I was transitioning out of my apartment and, figuring out my living situation. And, I was staying with Jerry. We really, really wanted to just be together. That was the bottom line. Like, we just wanted to be physically together all the time. After work, of course, not literally. So when COVID happened and, schools are shut down, so I'm out of a job, at that point, everything shut down. It's March. Like, everything's on lockdown. So, we're home and we're spending a lot of time together. We are on lockdown, but we still were working, and EDD was still coming in. But we were doing Postmates. So we were spending a lot of time together. It caused friction, and a lot of flaws were being exposed just because we were spending every second of every day together. But we were getting through it by God's grace, and he was speaking to us through family members we confided in, and they intervened and they helped us a lot. 2020 was a year. 2021, we moved in with my mom, and that was fun. That was the time my mom got to know him on a greater scale, and she loved him, adored him, loved his hustle, loved his drive, loved how intelligent he is. Prior to him moving in, she was not a fan. But the more she observed and the more conversations they had, she loved him down. Within the year 2021, we broke up in July for a month. I feel like at the time, respect was a huge thing. And on my part, really, I was not the most tasteful. And, I was letting my pride and my ego drive me back then, more than anything. And it showed in my interactions with Jerry. So, yeah, I went through his phone. That was like the last straw. And that was the day we actually broke up. I was working at Dave & Buster's at the time. But yeah, we broke up. He moved out. And it was weird. I don't know. Like, we weren't together, but we were still seeing each other from time to time. He would pick me up from work and take me home sometimes. And we were still in communication, not often, but I remember trying to cut it off and, like, letting him know, we should really stop talking. But he made it clear that he didn't want to end for real. Like, he wanted to work on us. So come August, his mom moves to Vegas and we help her with that. I wanted to get my own place in Vegas. So he helped me look for places. And then end of August, we went back to Vegas, and that's when we conceived Grim. And I'm actually going to stop it right here, put a pin in that because the 15 mark is approaching. And see me for part 2. Thank you. Love you. Mwah.
You better beware. The enemy is riding, get out of your chair. The callers are brothers and sisters of warfare. Step to this battle, full armor to bear.